Hi friends, today we will discuss about in situ conservation. In situ conservation is the on-site conservation of plants and animals in their natural environments. It involves the conservation of total ecosystem in protected areas. In situ conservation means the conservation of ecosystem and natural habitats and the maintenance and recovery of viable populations of species in their natural surroundings. Protected areas are distinct areas of land and sea identified, managed, and preserved for the long term protection and conservation of biodiversity, including ecosystem services and socio cultural heritage of mankind. Protected areas fall under two main categories, terrestrial and aquatic. In terrestrial protected areas include national park, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, natural world heritage sites, etc. In aquatic protected areas include Ramsar wetland site and important coastal protected areas. Main conservation activities in terrestrial protected areas are maintenance of the viable population of all native species and subspecies, maintenance of habitats and communities unchanged, maintenance of the genetic diversity of all existing species, prevention of the introduction of exotic species by man. In marine protected areas are concerned with the following activities: sustainable exploitation and utilization of marine resources, restoration of degraded marine and coastal habitats, protection and maintenance of the critical habitat and endangered species, protection and recovery of or rebuilding of the depleted population. Biosphere reserves. Biosphere reserves are protected areas where all biological species are given protection and multiple land use is permitted. They are established by the countries in which they are located and recognized by UNESCO's Man and Biosphere programs. The protected species include wild populations, native tribals, cultivated plants, and domesticated animals. The concept of biosphere reserves was launched by UNESCO in 1971 as a part of Man and Biosphere programs. Its prime objectives are conservation of all forms of life and their support system, the promotion of sustainable development based on the effort of local community. It also seeks to bring man and nature together to preserve nature and natural resources. A biosphere reserve has three zones or areas, namely core zone, buffer zone, and manipulation zone or transition zone. In the core zone, no human activity is permitted. In the buffer zone, limited human activity is permitted, and in the manipulation zone, free human activities are permitted. At present, there are 631 biosphere reserves around the world, located in 119 countries. In India, 18 areas have so far been noticed as biosphere reserves. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserves, Uttarakhand Biosphere Reserves, and Nokrek Biosphere Reserves are some of them. In India's Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves is the first declared one. First one is Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves. The Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves is the first established biosphere reserves in India. It came into effect on 1986 September 1st. The Nilgiri subcluster is a part of the Western Ghats, which in turn was declared as World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2012. The Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is a biosphere reserve in the Nilgiri mountain of the Western Ghats in South India. It is the largest protected forest areas in India, spreading across Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. It includes the protected areas Mudumalai, Mukkuruthi, Nagarkol, Bandipur, Silent Valley National Park and Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary, Wayanad, Karimbura and Satyamangalam Wildlife Sanctuaries. Area 5,520 kilometers square. The reserves consist of three ecoregions, namely the moist deciduous forest of southwestern Ghats, the mountain forest of southwestern Ghats, and the dry deciduous forest of South Deccan Plateau. The reserves is rich in flora, fauna, and tribal groups. More than 100 species of mammals, 550 odd species of birds, and more than 30 species each of reptiles and amphibians have been reported from this area. The tribal groups include Todas, Kotas, Irulas, Kurumbas, Paniyas, Adiyans, Allaras, Malayans, Edanadan, Chettis, etc. The next one is Agustimalai Biosphere Reserves. Agustimalai Biosphere Reserve is located at the southern end of the Western Ghats in South India. It spreads over the border areas of Pathanamthitta, Kollam and Thiruvananthapuram districts in Kerala and Tirunelveli and Kanyakumari districts in Tamil Nadu. It covers an area of 3,500.36 km square. The Agustimalai Biosphere Reserve is a biosphere reserve in India established in 2001. Agustimalai Biosphere Reserve comprises three ecoregions, namely tropical wet evergreen forest, moist deciduous forest of southwestern Ghats, and the mountain rainforest and sholas of southwestern Ghats. It is a habitat of more than 2000 varieties of medicinal plants, of which is nearly 50 are rare and endangered. Nilgiri tahr, tiger and elephants are the most important mammals of the area. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the biosphere and interlinked and dependent on one another for survival. Both vegetation and wildlife are extremely important resources and hence are an important part of geography. Thank you.